Welcome to METH GATOR Presents. We have my co-host, Chris Fisk Media,
Hey,
Infinitel Comic, Infinitel Chronicles Comic. Sorry.
hell yeah.
I was reading your name. And we got a cool guest talking a little bit behind the scenes right before. I feel this is going to be a good stream. Like, pretty much all of them have been so far for these comic streams. Nick of the Phoenix Press. He's on his I think you have 5 campaigns. This is your third for 2100 Samurai.
Yeah, so 5 sounds about right. I did
Wow.
my first one like early back in 2020, and then I think I mentioned this on my Twitter, but it feels like I really only didn't really come into my own until the campaign for issue 2 of Torn Samurai, like literally last year. But this shit's been a long time coming.
Wow. Yeah, good on you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's admirable because a lot of people they they get hit by that challenge of their first book and they're like, screw this, I'm out. But like you said, round 2.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it because like my first campaign was in 2018 for Product Access when I was still with my old company that I initially hired on. That thing was a freaking disaster. I eventually left that company, started the Phoenix Press, my own brand, and then 2020 I did like a new version of Product Access, and I got that thing funded. Had some dramas along the way. Later that year, tried to put Torrent Samurai in Indiegogo. That thing had its own kind of. That was a big challenge because like I had hooked up with an artist, and I was like funded in like a few days. But like I had some conflicts with the artist because I hired him in June, and he was supposed to be done with like the 20-page comic by October. So 4 months go by, and he had done like 4 pages maybe, and like I like tried to be like, hey, can you work on it, blah blah blah, and like I was like half, and finally I was talking, I was like, oh, you forget your place, and then he left the project. His buddy, who basically had contributed like $1,000 campaign, basically pulled his funding out. Left me with like $365. The guy was a total douchebag, But like, so basically, I had to kind of just take that money and just like get everything done, and then by spring of next year, I had the book done, and oh freaking god, it's a miracle it came out half as well as it did, because like there were challenges. Like I found an artist. She had to quit about 17 pages in because for mental health reasons. Not really her fault. I don't fault her for that, but it still sucks. So I had this new guy called Brian Q come in, finish that up, ended up working, and I've worked with him ever since. So Brian Q does most of my art stuff. Like he's done issue 2, he's doing issue 3, and then he did Screecher. He's gonna do Screecher issue 2. He's just a really great artist to work with. He's got a few kind of like things I got like that make things a little bit challenging, but overall the positives of him far outweigh than any negatives.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just listening.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to continue.
Oh, well, that was just like a rough overview of like my campaigns, and like like I said, did the issue 2 is when I really feel like things came into my own, and then the Screecher campaign was just, oh my god, that was amazing. That was just like everything just fell into place with that one. I was funded $1,300 in like a week. Ended up getting like $2,200 for that campaign. So
nice.
That was really nice. And then this campaign has some challenges, but as far as the funding, people have been doing really good. Like I am so close right now.
Nice. Oh yeah, let's see where you're at. We got the link there in the private. So
yeah,
I didn't know if you had it already, so I sent it to you.
Yeah, I was about to pull it up, so I appreciate that. I made it a little quicker for me.
6% away, man.
I've been meaning to back you the last couple of days. I just been distracted, so I'm like, well, perfect time for me to be back now.
Yeah, no time like the present. You can grab yourself the blood. So I am running a contest. The person who gets me funded will get a physical Screecher sticker with their order if they get.
Well, let me refill real quick. only thing I've ever refunded on Indiegogo was Cyberfrog 2, because my friend got it for me anyway, and I needed the money for rent. So I'm like, hey,
I don't think Ethan Van Sciver's crying over that. So
yeah,
it's like, I made $1 million and someone refunded 60. Wait,
honestly, I'm very perturbed how I'm going to review Cyberfrog 2, because I'm just like, not great. I mean, it's fucking stellar art, but I'm just like, what the man? I think it's really just the narrative direction really sold me in the first one.
No hate to EVS, but this is really a problem with a lot of artists that I've noticed. Like, this is literally a tale of all this time. I call it artists who write syndrome, where it's like you have artists who are like really phenomenal, but like they think they can write because I'm a really good artist. I know storytelling, and then like writing and art is two separate disciplines. And yes, you have people who can do both, but not every artist can write. And you see that this all the frickin' time. Like, look at Jack Kirby. He's literally one of, if not the greatest artist of all time. But you read his Fourth World Saga, the dialogue is atrocious. The world building is pretty good. Like, the world building is pretty good. You know, the characters, like all of like the Dark Side, Orion. His dialogue is terrible. Look at Spider-Man #1. When Tom McFarlane was writing Spider-Man. That thing is like 99% captions.
Ooh.
Granted, he did get better by the time he got to Spawn issue 1. He did get better, but like the Spawn issue, like the early Spawn is good, but it is still a bit stilted. I have a lot of respect for Tom McFarlane, and his writing did get better, but like it would have benefited so much with an actual scribe.
Well, I've found. Have you ever hit the opposite? Like, to me, that's actually one of my favorite comics of all time. Is one of the ugliest comic books I've ever read, but the story, freaking like the writing blew it out of the water. No, it's The Crow by James O'Barr.
I've actually met James O'Barr a couple times because he does a lot of cons that I go to.
Dude, that book is
He's
amazing.
like the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy.
Yeah, I heard he like locked himself in his apartment or something after he found out that Brandon died on the set of the film. Yeah.
Yeah, very, See, you don't really see like the opposite of like writers who do art. The only one that I could think of off the top of my head would be Frank Miller. Because like I feel like Frank Miller is a writer who can draw. Because like his art is decent. Let's be honest. But it's not like nowhere near as good as anyone else's. But it works, especially for the types of stories he tells. Like you never see Frank Miller just doing art. You'll see him just doing writing, but you never see him just doing the art. But I think he did Wolverine, which was written by Chris Claremont and then drawn by Frank Miller. I think that was the only one.
Oh wow. Yeah, I get what you're saying though about like it's almost like you have a finite pool of assets and where you can put those attributes in, and it's a very like a huge rarity to find somebody that can put them in both the literary and in the artistic. I mean, it happens, but it's kind of like, what would you rather do? Would you rather be a master artist or would you rather be a master writer?
Hey,
master baby.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
Winning.
Yes. Yes. I prefer to consider myself by winning. So,
you knew the reference. Finally, no one ever gets that when I'm like winning.
Hey, I got the tiger blood, so
fuck yeah.
Oh no.
It's mostly cocaine, but it's tiger blood stuff.
Just don't ask Corey Haim about that. That bucket of Crisco and the tiger blood in him?
Oh dear God, this is taking a weird direction.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen is a monster.
The stream is going down a path I can't follow.
Yes.
Oh, I'm such a good.
Oh, dude, I love when I just had one the other day of like Anakin. Oh, it was on Twitter. It was I don't know who this person is, but it's like Kim Petras or whatever. I didn't even know they're trans, which doesn't bother me. I'm like, cool, hot trannies.
Whatever.
But I had no idea. I thought it was just a woman. And there's a screenshot from someone I follow of this woman's like, they put a man on Sports Illustrated, and then Ian Miles Chong or whatever his name is says, "Oh no." In the comments, and so the guy's a screenshot, and Perry, the guy I follow, is like, Ian's having post-nut clarity, and so I'm like, what have I done? And then some people were replying with other Anakin memes, and we're going back and forth with Anakin memes. It's like
this is where the fun begins.
Yes, it's like Ian before the post-nut clarity.
God, it's a blessing and a curse.
I bet. I'm sure Ian was wishing he could bring peace to his new empire.
This is
I could go on.
This is awesome. I love this.
I didn't know that. I knew I should have known something was up when she was eager to do it in the back door.
Well,
there's only one door here.
Well, I guess you could say that encounter really went to shit, didn't it?
Oh my god, that's good. Give me one moment to grab my snuff, and we're gonna look at this trailer, which I haven't watched yet.
He needs a minute. He needs the post-nut clarity himself.
Yeah. Oh no! I was clear going in. I knew what I was in for.
Oh, so you grabbed your pictures of Blair White and had fun before the stream?
Blair White, it's like, no. Didn't she get bottom surgery? Like, that's just a turn off for me.
No, I think Blair White actually kept the
maybe
she did not return the equipment.
You have now changed my total perception, because it's like, you know that hit or miss girl from like, I don't know, 2014, the Vine or whatever, in the pink cheerleader suit. It's like hit or miss.
Like the dude, yeah.
No, it's a girl, but everyone thought it was a trap, and then it's like, wait, that's just a girl. Gross. That's just funny because when it's like whoa, cute trap, and then it's like, oh, it's a girl. Boring. Like that's a real thing.
All right, Fred, calm down. All right,
it's a
Fred.
real thing. But yeah, let me grab my stuff. Be right back.
Like, I just want to say, like, have you guys ever seen Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated? One of my favorite jokes in that show is Fred has an obsession with traps, and they literally find like the swimsuit issue, and it's like Traps Illustrated, and it's just like a woman in like a bikini. So like the joke is Fred likes traps. Like he like, if you know what I'm trying to say, like, I thought that was like the most cleverest joke you could possibly do. Like, that is so pushing the envelope. Oh my god.
Did you ever see Ted 2?
I've seen like clips of it.
So there's a scene where Ted the animated
back.
Hey, welcome back. There's an animated teddy bear that talks, and his buddy who brought him to life on a wish. And he's like, they're all grown up and stoners and everything, but
you talking about Ted?
Yeah, Ted 2. When he's on after Mila Kunis and him broke up in the sequel, and it's like, guy, you got to get back out there in the playing field, man. This is getting real sad. You got too much porn on your computer. I mean, look at this stuff. And he's like, clockwise, counterclockwise, rim job. What the hell? He's like, I need help. And then he goes, chicks with dicks? There are no chicks with dicks. It's only guys with boobs.
He's like, yeah, dudes with boobs. I don't care what you call it, as long as it looks good.
It's just hilarious watching it, like the Snuggles fabric softener bear castigated.
It's like, I don't
dude, when I was in the theater for Ted 1, it was during AIT medic school, like towards the end, and we had like a group of us go see Ted. And when they're in the hotel and he rips off the antenna, starts whipping Mark Wahlberg's ass, I like couldn't breathe. That was so fucking funny and unexpected.
When you cry out for the medic, then you realize, I am the medic.
Yeah. There's nobody here to save us.
God's gonna sit this one out.
God, yeah.
I love that meme. It's like, call an ambulance, but not for me.
We'll be right back. Like one of my those, I love those like we'll be right back memes. My favorite one is like a guy's like, I have the power of God, and he has like a gun, and it like starts to like aim at a police guy. He's like,
Let's see how this one ends.
All right, let us observe the trailer for 2100 Samurai.
Yikuzo!
Oh, whoa!
No audio. No.
There we go.
there we go.
That is
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I like it. Especially the cell. I'm getting some Coruscant vibes. Like I know in your blog you're saying Blade Runner and Ghost in the Shell, but it makes me think of, especially talking Star Wars with you, Coruscant, Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge
Nice.
Star Wars fan, so yeah.
This is
Oh,
cool.
man.
You have room for comedy here. I don't know if you've ever seen Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Wee-oo.
My
Yeah.
name is Betty. My name is Betty.
Yeah.
Swing in the chain, swing in the chain. Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
dude,
seen that movie in like 20 years though.
oh my god, watch it. It's better when you're older. Like it's definitely like Michael Scott kind of like cringe. Like the part of the humor is like sitting through and you're like, God, they're kind of doing too much. But that's part of like the humor if you like The Office.
The
or
biggest
something.
thing I remember is like the Milk Matrix scene where he's like got
Yeah, the cow.
bullet top. Like
Oh my
like
God,
they're
I gotta
so
make that
blatant
intro.
with that.
You remember the montage where the guy was training and he's like, and finally, this is the part where you all gang up on me and beat me up, and then I throw you off.
Just beat the fuck out of him.
Montage.
Yeah, no, he's like mashed in the ground, and the big dumb fat guy's like, when's he getting up? He's just
No,
dead in the ground.
I love it when they're like Master Betty and his gang are like hiding to like ambush someone, and then like they make the calls like cuckoo, cuckoo, and then Master Betty's like, I'm just a birdie too. That's so stupid. I love it. It's crap
What
like
about
that. It
Wimp?
kills me.
Wimp low.
Like I love
Wimp low.
how this movie like it makes it feel like it's like a bad like localization dub. Like they just got high and we're just like ripping the entire movie. But when, they probably scripted this out for months.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a trauma film called Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters. It was a Filipino wrestling, women's wrestling movie that they overdubbed
I'm
wrong.
interested.
Dude, it is
You
the
had
funniest
me at-
thing.
You had me at Filipino female wrestlers.
Well, like the plot is like this Filipino Elvis impersonator is trying to get with one of the ferocious female freedom fighter wrestlers, but she's not interested because her little brother has dickosis, which is the main vein that goes from your prostate goes straight to his brain. So whenever he gets horny, he needs to chronically whack off, or his head will explode. So,
Oh wow!
so she's trying to raise money to get an operation to fix that. So everything revolves around her getting money while he's trying to get with it. The Elvis impersonator guy's trying to get with her, and he brings a gift home or brings a gift to his girlfriend. He's like, "Hey, honey, baby, I got you a gift. You can give it to your little brother." Great, thank you. Can I take it to my room and fuck it? And it was a car. Oh, a car. So Yeah, and the way that it was like dubbed wrong, like it like clearly was not what was what was being said in the scene, but the way that they played it out was freaking awesome.
Oh, okay. Take it home and take it in my room and fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You do whatever you want, kid. Then he goes, "Oh, my head!" He's like holding his head, and everybody's like feeling bad for him and stuff. It's like, see what happens when you get him horny.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
With the reference I was making to Kung Pao, when you say like training his new pride or something, I was thinking of oh, that's Slim Below. It's like we trained him wrong as a joke.
Yeah.
My
you could
do
that like, some side like, oh, the buddy of our main character, he's got a Padawan that he's training to be retarded. Like,
I'm bleeding. That means I win.
he's like, I'm bleeding, making me the victim.
You know, it turns out that like I'm technically retarded. You might want to get yourself checked.
Wait,
that was a Family Guy reference.
Oh yeah, petarded.
The cow says, "Moo."
Yeah, that was his test score.
Yeah, walk us through this comic. I backed the physical comic and I'll get the digital, but I was unclear because when you click on digital, it looked like you would also get the other two for digital with this combo.
Oh,
is that the case?
I that wasn't my intention, but if I put it on there, I mean, obviously, whatever it says on there is I'm kind of bound to it. So,
let me click on it really quick.
Well, if it says digital comic on it, like the items, so
right.
I'm assuming you just get number 1. So, with physical comic, you do get digital 1 and 2. Like that literally says that there.
Yeah, maybe when I was scrolling on my phone when I meant to back it, maybe I was like blending the two tiers together.
Yeah. Just wait till you see what. Like, did you check out what else I had on offer? Because like I got some really good shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like you might want to check out like the Blood and Steel one. That's like the really good one. But anyway, let's talk about this comic. So basically, it stars a young man named Kiro, who was a samurai. Is a samurai who was originally from feudal Japan. Let me just kind of turn on my cam here. And so, basically, one day, him and his fiance, they step through a portal and they land in the cyberpunk future of 2100. You know, and then they get attacked by some forces for the Ensnar Corporation, and Mishi gets injured and eventually goes missing, leaving Kiro on the mean streets of Neo Detroit. Yes, that takes place in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, damn.
And so he runs into this woman named Tyler Schnee, who he's a lot more street smart. They kind of partner up a little bit. They go back to Judy's sister, who owns a brothel called Judy's Pleasure Palace. And we're getting into the events of issue 2 here. And some stuff happens, and Tyler is left as the de facto owner of the Pleasure Palace. So she kind of delegates that to a woman named Quell. So Quell's kind of like the Lucius Fox of this scenario. And basically, Kiro starts training Tyler to be the new Song of War Samurai, because now Kiro has both him and Mishi swords because of reasons. I'm being vague here because I don't want to do spoilers for 1 and 2. Yeah, spoilers for a comic that's been out a year already. So
yeah,
but yeah, so some really great stuff. Issues 1 and 2 were basically its own storyline, traveling part 1 and 2. And now we're on the second storyline of Volume 1, The Vow, which is going to be in 3 parts. So there's 5 issues total in Volume 1. We're on issue 3 right now. And then, so issue 3 takes place like roughly a few weeks after issue 2. Like, Kiro and Tyler have been training. But, like, because there's kind of a power vacuum in the area because, you know, Judy's not around. And so a warlord called Gladden tries kind of to seize it, and then they meet with him. Some stuff happens, and then like you get like some talking about it. Like Tyler's very like eager; he wants to like do more, be more action. Kiro's like, you need to be more like cautious and whatnot. And then like, but also the thing is, you know, his Mishi may have betrayed him. So like the logical side of his brain would be like, all right, Mishi is no longer a Songor samurai. She betrayed us. But his emotional side is like, she's still my fiance. This sword is still my fiance's sword. So it's like he's got some hang-ups he's got to get over. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Huh. This is cool. Yeah, when I was reading the blurb, it brought to mind Samurai Jack a lot. Which
I literally get that all the time. Fun fact, I've never actually seen Samurai Jack, so...
What?
No need to
Oh,
go.
I'm kind of afraid to watch it now because literally everyone tells me that it's like Samurai Jack. I'm afraid to watch it.
No, it's
because,
just it's just the opening template in like Samurai. Otherwise, it's like you can totally. Well, the other thing about Samurai Jack is like it's like a vignette, like Twilight Zone show or Doctor Who. It's like the one central character with all these wacky, getting thrust in these different elements and eras. So it's like they can literally do anything with Samurai Jack they want to. That's the
extra
template.
thick.
Yeah.
Yours sounds like, all right, there's like the opening template like that, but then you're just staying like there is a consistent storyline.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to do a Turn Samurai Jack crossover. I think that would probably do some numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the whole cyberpunk thing. I mean, that's pretty hot now too. I mean, even though when the cyberpunk game kind of bombed out the door, it's actually gotten better, and I think the genre is starting to pick up again somewhat.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were hopping on the cyberpunk train, like especially in the indie scene. We saw a lot of cyberpunk comics came out.
Yep.
I feel like after the game came out, that cooled a little bit. Like the genre's still popular, but it's not as like white hot as it was in the lead up to the game. Personally, I like the game. By the way, I own it.
Hey,
so.
nice. You might be in luck. So Samurai Jack's Adult Swim, at least currently, and so it's Warner Brothers ultimately. But it seems like they've offload comics to IDW. At least they did. And so theoretically, with how downhill IDW is, be gay, do comics. 39% layoffs. You might be able to get a pretty cheap deal to cross over with Samurai Jack.
The Bud Light of comics.
Just imagine how crazy that would be if I announced. So we're doing a crossover with Samurai Jack now. Like Samurai Jack is going to appear in the World Torn Samurai.
Yeah, variant cover. Oh my god!
literally, like it's just probably just going to be Kiro and Jack just crossing swords, just like and basically you have like a coup in the background,
Oh yeah, man, rest in peace. Mako is awesome. Let me tell you, I'm a wizard, mind you. Guy from Conan.
One.
Let
me share the link. Let me share the link in the chat.
That would help.
I shared it in the description, but a lot of people don't check that. So here's a link if you want to back it, Ancient One. You can get just for $10 in shipping. You can get the physical number 3 and then backfill 1 and 2 to catch up on the story.
What up, Ancient One? Yeah, the ketchup tier is $30. And then for $100, you get the Blood and Steel edition, which that one's really cool because it's like limited to 25. It's going to have a hollow foil cover. It's going to have a print of the cover signed by both me and cover artist Xevious. Nice. But the best part is, so the regular comic is like black and white grayscale. But if you get the Blood and Steel edition, you add splashes of red throughout the comic.
Nice.
Okay. I was going to ask that because watching the trailer, I saw the red, and I was wondering, like, are you doing like black, white, gray, and red?
Yeah, just scroll down, you'll see it.
Watashi wa Satsujin Machine.
See right there? Up. Yeah, that picture right there. Just kind of check that one out.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the we were talking about Frank Miller earlier, like the 300 black and white with the dash of red.
Wait, he did a black and white version?
If I recall right, that was the first one that I had seen, or at least in comic book form, was all grayscale with just red.
Interesting.
And he also did that with Sin City, I believe. But Sin City also had like yellow.
Sin City's black and white and some red.
And then Meth Gator, I'm sending you a picture on Twitter of like a full page of the Blood and Steel edition so you can showcase it.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm getting a little bit bombarded. Let me find it. Okay, found your message. Actually, let me just share that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is a full page of the Blood and Steel edition, so you can really see what it's like.
Nice. Look at that. Yoga fire.
You are not the first person to catch that.
Nice.
I don't get the reference.
Dalsum from Street Fighter 2, the bald
Yeah,
Indian guy.
Yeah, I never played that stuff. I'm not into like Mortal Kombat or any of that stuff.
Fun
Philistine.
So a little behind the scenes kind of fun fact. Originally, that villain was supposed to blow like gusts of air, but like when I had made the decision to do the Blood and Steel edition, I was looking at the script, be like, okay, where can I add new red? And I realized, holy crap, just change to him having fire powers. Literally, the whole scene doesn't change because originally he was shooting like balls of air. Just change it to fire, and
Nice.
bam, it's literally my best page.
Hell yeah. That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. So basically, any place that has red, will get red. Like and also some of the red might be shaded a little bit. Like in the picture of the campaign, you kind of see like Ashley's hair has like some red shading in it. So like I love it just because it just freaking pops. These are only with the Blood and Steel edition, and they're limited to 25.
Oh shit. 25? Nice.
Yes, there's only
24.
25 that will
25.
29 250.
Yeah.
If you live in if you're from Metro Detroit, you get the reference.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not.
Infantile, you're from Michigan?
No, but I've heard it. I know people from. I can't remember where they are in Michigan exactly.
It's anyone who lives in Metro Detroit, especially those who lived in like the 90s and 2000s. You say 29 250, like they know. Okay, just to explain, there was a place called Mr. Allen's. They were kind of like an urban wear, shoes and stuff, and they had a commercial, and that was kind of like their line, like 39 250. So it's like anyone from Metro Detroit, they get that.
I saw this one YouTube video where they're like, it was like, come down to Detroit. It's across the street from the shit that sells the motherfucker. It's like, wait, what?
Oh, you want to talk about like crazy like local business commercials? I remember there was this one for like a meat shop, and at the end you had the old men say, "Nobody beats my meat."
Except for me.
It's like I want to say they did that deliberately, like they knew exactly what they were doing. I want to feel like they did that deliberately.
Nobody beats my meat.
Oh, it's even get cringier because like they're like word. It was like a really bad like pseudo rap song.
Oh, like that. Do you remember that? There was that one commercial. It was like a cable access commercial for like some, I think it was a Baptist church or something, or like some modern church. And these two
It's just like a mini mall.
Yeah, well, no, it's these old white people rapping. Like one of them was the pastor, and he says, and he ends his video with, "And that's why Jesus is my," and he drops the N-bomb.
What?
What about that rap video? It's like, Jesus Christ is my nigga.
Yeah, that's what it was. But it was the old white guy saying it.
Oh my lord!
It's like when Vince McMahon said that in front of Booker T and WWE. Goes up to John Cena. What up, man?
To be fair, that part was scripted. They were trying to get a reaction out of people. Like that was actually deliberate. But this one is just.
Yeah, it's so out of touch. It's hilarious because he's trying, like he's all proud of himself. Like, I made a rap. I'm gonna reach the youth. It's like, no, you just got canceled.
Yeah,
your church is getting shut down.
And when Vince did that, that was very deliberate. Like that was he got the intended reaction.
Yeah, Booker T and his wife weren't too impressed.
Yeah. I'm getting secondhand cringe cancer. My balls are about to be falling off any moment. That comment gave me ass cancer. All right. Let's talk the Kiro Touring Samurai. So
desu ne.
Nani?
Who did your cover?
Nani?
It's really interesting.
Omae wa mou shindaru.
Okay. What the hell did you just say?
That's the line.
Cover?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so the cover is done by Xevious. He's
Nice.
done a lot of. He's like, I don't know if you know that guy. He's like an awesome
Yeah.
dude. He
He
does
did
a
the
lot of
Screecher
stuff.
cover too.
He did actually, and did a damn good job of it.
Yeah, he did. I think he works with Buddy Lord too, or worked on the
he has in the past. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, it's funny when I was making the
Xevious-
thumbnail. I was like,
Xevious is so like he's such a great guy. He's a joy to work with. Like he's so nice, so patient. He's a joy to work with, and I recommend him full heartedly.
Yeah, he's got a sweet style too.
He really does.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no,
you're saying, Meth Gator?
No, it's
Yes.
just funny when I was trying to do the thumbnail and I cleared the background and this guy, I was looking at the different options on Photoshop of like preset, like make the image pop, and it's like actually all these make it worse. It's already it's already perfect.
It's already popping. Hell yeah.
So yeah, I just want to compliment it on that aspect of art.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure when he sees this, he will be smiling. Hi, Devious.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. That guy sucks. No.
Oh no, I can't even say a bad word about the guy, even in jest. He's just been really good to me. So.
Hell yeah.
So what did you like? You approach him. What was the walkthrough of the discussion of like what you would do for this cover? Because the cover's cool, and then of course your logo is awesome too.
Yeah, Xevious actually did that too as well. So I got him to thank for the logo as well. So just kind of give him a shot. Yeah. Basically the kanji, one is earth, one is wind, which is like Miki and Kiro's elements and whatnot. So that's what they're for.
Yeah, the one on the left above the S is also the kanji for samurai. So
it just like it works really well. Earth samurai.
Yeah, kanji's weird like that because it has like 100 meanings per character. Like you could be like, oh, this means fire, but it also means like sleeping long, or something like.
Yeah, because like kanji is you're not spelling out actual words. You're doing like you're not spelling letters. It's words. Yeah,
what do they call that? Pictograph or
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
logographic. Yeah, and a lot of Asian languages like that.
I'm assuming, Wiz, you've already backed this. And hello again, Wiz.
Ohio konbanwa.
Wizard is actually, I got to give her a shout out. She's actually one of my super backers. She's one of the elite few who backed the Blood and Steel edition. So she deserves all the praise in the world. Hi, Wizard Brain, you're awesome.
Yeah, I always feel bad when I'm backing campaigns because like I usually do like the lowest tier just because like I gotta fund my own project. So
I totally get it.
Oh, you're talking to the right kind of people, my friend.
Yeah, usually I'm the same, but like I do a lot of streams with my buddy Jared from Comics League, and like twice already he's backed my comics at like the $100 level. So it's like, oh well, I guess I have to buy like when his comic comes out, I got to do the $100 one just because. Like not only has he backed me twice at $100, he's also been really good with helping with like his platform and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I kind of owe it to him.
Hell yeah, nice, man.
Yeah, sorry.
So what was the impetus of the 2100 Samurai from the start?
Well, it was actually like the first comic book that I ever created, like back in my junior year of high school. So, we're talking 2005. 1 second, I gotta do something. All right. Yeah, sorry, the battery's running low on my headphones. So I just gotta.
Oh no, I hate that. You hear the beep beep?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, luckily this Bluetooth headset actually has like a headphone jack on it, so I can just kind of plug it in that way. So it's all good. So we're good now. But anyway, so yeah, basically, a lot of it was inspired by like the Matrix and different types of anime. When I sat down to create it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like let unleash myself, just do whatever. Like this was always intended to be a mature rated comic, and obviously through the years I've refined it. You know, like for example, the initial version of issue 1 was so long, I ended up having to cut it in half, and like issue 2 is an amalgamation of the second half of issue 1. As well as issue 2, like I kind of mushed those together and created something new.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 3 is fairly close to my original version. I did add some more moments, like you're talking about comedy. Like there actually is like some really good jokes in here. In this issue, there's one about like things being shoved up butts. And that is, I guarantee you the joke is a lot funnier than I'm underselling it right now. And it's also a reference to a scene from The Matrix, so take with that as you will. And I'm sure like uber fans of The Matrix will be like, oh crap, I know exactly what scene he's talking about. But yeah, it's just really funny. It's just a really funny joke, and I've had this joke in my head since like 2008, and I've been wanting to put it in the book so badly, and I'm really proud of finally being able to put it in the book.
Nice.
I totally get that. There's a joke I got GATOR specific that I want for METH GATOR. He's like, once you go GATOR, you want nothing later.
Yeah, because it looks like a gag cigar went off in there.
Well then, so question: Does this particular brand of meth have some bite?
Have some what?
This particular brand of meth, like this whole METH GATOR brand, does it have some bite?
Well, I summarize it as radioactive meth. It's not actually radioactive, but yeah.
I was just saying because gators, they bite.
No, I got what you're saying. I was just expanding off of that.
I see.
We're going into the death roll now.
Oh, fuck. That's actually a cool... I've been trying to think of, like, what would be cool subtitles, or am I just going to be, like, born and be like, number 1, you know? I'll probably just do number 1, but it's like, fuck, death roll. That's a cool fucking... That could be a variant. I don't know. There's so many things I can do with death roll. No, not death roll like variant cover, but like death roll.
Is there going to be any like gator wrestling?
Maybe that'll like. I don't know. I'm kind of like very realistic minded. I'm not quite imaginative.
So a version of Steve Irwin will not be appearing. Crikey, my arm!
Yeah.
No, it's just interesting because, like, essentially the whole impetus starts for METH GATOR being a thing. Some tweakers are trying to just get the next hit, and so someone knows about like poaching eggs to sell to like gator farms, restaurants, whatever, to like grow them and chop them up, sell them once they get big enough. And so, shit happens, and they spill their meth on the baby. Hatchling, and so he absorbs it and morphs. It's very TMNT Daredevil, simple origin. As Ethan Van Sciver put it, I remember hearing this clip on a stream where he's talking about Marvel. He's like, they always do this trope of like, whoops, I'm Spider-Man, whoops, I'm the Hulk. It's like I never really thought about that way. It's like, that is kind of overly simple how they do a lot of their characters.
Well,
So it's
to be fair, a lot of this was birthed in like the '60s, and like the whole point of those origin stories, like, okay, it happened. All right, he can be a superhero now. Like
yeah, I
it's
totally
done into an
identify
act.
with that. Yeah, I totally identify with that.
Like,
it works.
I would say Spider-Man's true origin moment is not him getting bitten by the spider. It's when he finds out that the crook that he let go killed Uncle Ben. Like, I think that is the true moment where Spider-Man was born.
Mm.
Why isn't he called Ben Man?
Bin
Shut
Man?
up! Shut up! You're ruining my moment.
Uncle Ben Man, he's like wearing a giant orange box with a little black guy's face on it.
That's racist. That is racist.
I'm just loving this idea of Uncle Ben Man.
Well,
just if it was Ben Man, people are like, what? Ben? What the
and
fuck
his
does that
his
mean?
power is he shoots pre-cooked rice from his wrist.
Yeah. He like snowballs, but they're rice balls. Just
Everyone hates Spider-Man. It's like, all these birds are dead. You're the Mao of America, Ben Man.
So you're saying,
Yeah.
you're saying that he
Ben.
shoots jelly donuts from his wrist?
Oh.
I'm sorry, but like you have to be like a very specific demographic to get that joke.
Wait,
Well-
no, let me see if I can find it. There's this hilarious like 4-part comic.
You know,
Let me find it real
Pokemon,
quick.
like Pokemon translations of like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh God, yeah, where he's like holding one of those rice triangle
Yeah,
things.
jelly
and he's like,
donut.
yeah,
That
this is a
was-
great jelly donut.
Yeah, that was a joke I was trying to make.
Yeah, what was that, Rock or whatever? Yeah.
Brock,
Or
yeah.
Brock, yeah.
Like a Brock.
Yeah. Nobody knows what color his eyes are because they're just two lines.
He's like, I love the theory that like Brock is just like constantly high.
Yeah, baked up
I
his
mean,
ass.
you'd
all
have
the
to
time.
be to deal with like both Ash and Misty.
Well, I mean, if you really analyze what Pokemon is it's basically the Michael Vick of Japan. It's these kids going around collecting wild animals and pitting them against each other in a fight to the death.
You're ruining my fantasy. It's about friendship. It's about
Yeah.
it's about beating other people's animals to death for their lunch money.
I got to
Alright.
be
This is what I was thinking of. It's naked from the waist down Spider-Man. And they're like, hey, Spidey, we're sick of seeing your exposed anus and genitals. Put some pants on, you lousy bum. He's like, no.
And you can't make me.
You know what I would do if I really wanted to be weird? Like basically have it so that like organic webbing can come out of any orifice of his body. So like when he's coming, he just shoots like a
Yeah.
bunch of webbing into like Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
whatever.
Mary Jane doesn't need the sponge.
Someone said, thanks to Spider-Verse, this is canon. Wait, restroom Spider-Man. No splashback for me all the way up here.
Oh,
Spider-Man, have you not considered the fact that the greater the drop, the greater the impact?
oh, look at the
It's like-
poop water.
Well,
You dropped a child in there.
like Spider-Man, you don't have a condom. What are you gonna do? All right, let me just all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Or like, or like, oh, where'd the straps go? All right, I got you, and they just like web everything up.
So,
Oh, man.
I want to ask you this because I'm a movie guy. That's my comics is like I'm a novice. What is your favorite comic films? It can be more than one, and why?
So if I'm gonna start, I'm probably just gonna name a couple of them. X2, X-Men United, probably Spider-Man 2, Superman 1976, Batman 1989, Watchmen, probably
I think you're the first person to say Watchmen. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm a Snyder fan, so.
Oh, get out! Sorry, we're done today.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Actually, don't back 2100.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you!
Philistine!
No,
Oh,
Snyder's
man.
interesting because I just showed Rookie. He's seen BVS, and I think maybe he saw Justice League. He definitely saw the Snyderverse.
Did you watch the
Snyder
Ultimate
cut.
Edition? Did you watch the Ultimate Edition of BVS?
I think I still own the Ultimate, and I have Man.
Why did you say that name?
But yeah, yeah, it's still stupid as fuck. Why did you say that name? It's like, he has a mommy. I guess I won't kill the ultimate threat to Earth. Never mind. He has a mom. It's like, what about all the prisoners you've branded for death?
Like here's the thing.
Fuck
even
you.
I can't
It's
defend
stupid
that
as
moment.
fuck.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even I can't defend that moment. So like, I'm giving that one to you. Like, I can't even defend that moment. So
no, so I'm very, especially being Comicsgate, the ideal and stuff. The Snyder cut and creative control and whatnot, censorship. I was totally for the Snyderverse, and I don't, or Snyder cut, and I don't take that back, regardless of what the quality is. I think Snyder cut had a lot of good stuff. Consistent tone. I actually feel bad for Joss Whedon. He gets way too much flack for his version, given that
he didn't have anything to work with.
It's like, hey, completely overhaul this movie in a couple months.
Well, no, his problem was they wanted to turn, like, because they wanted Avengers, but the problem is the Snyder Cut wasn't the Avengers. Plus, Joss Whedon is okay, so
completely different.
Yeah. So I don't like Joss Whedon as he is now, but I'm still like a Buffy Firefly fan. Like I always will be.
I love Firefly. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And then Buffy got me through like some really hard times back in like my early adult years. So it's like I always got a special spot for Buffy.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But
sorry, go on.
I just feel like if they would have hired Joss Whedon to do Justice League from the start, it probably would have been a pretty decent to pretty good movie. Like, let's be honest. And
we did the Avengers.
Yeah, and
Avengers 2 I really like Avengers 2. I don't know why people give it crap.
Like hearing the stories about like what the actors said about working with Joss Whedon, it just kind of left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Like he was like very difficult to work with. Whereas everyone who has worked with Zack Snyder says nothing about like high praise about like how good of a person he is to work with. So like I don't know. I
don't know. Ray Fisher, I'm not really going to take his word because who the fuck wants to work with that guy now?
Yeah.
But like literally everyone else, like everyone else who has worked with him,
Yeah.
Everyone
else gives credence outside of Cyborg, but I showed Rookie Man of Steel, and
that film is so good. I don't care if that is a good film.
Even though it's a slog fest at the end, Zod is very like, especially me, I love villains, and don't really care about DC or Superman, but yeah, Zod, I totally believe in him and his cause. If anything, I'm more rooting for him, not just because I love villains, but it's like I feel like Superman, it's just too like lukewarm. His resolve, his motivation, But yeah,
the reason / excuse that I would use in that situation is it's literally his first day of Superman. Like this is supposed to be a kind of a pseudo origin story of Superman, so like I do give him a little bit of slack for his indecisiveness because he doesn't know who he is, like what kind of hero he wants to be.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff, but then it's like, wait a minute, like, oh, this guy, was harassing the waitress. And he threw beer on him, so you like crucify his semi, his life.
Yeah.
Even if he's like married and stepping on his wife or trying to sleazebag, it's like I don't think the karma adds up to that punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, I like my defense is it's kind of a wish fulfillment because how often have we wished we could do something like that? Like
sure, but this is Superman. That's the problem. Is like Superman is like America. That's a huge icon.
He's supposed to be a paragon.
To muddy into like these petty personal grievances like that.
I feel like
I'm just like
Snyder was trying to
I don't even care about Superman. This feels wrong. Like
I don't know. Like I actually kind of like the like a little bit more of the human portrayal of Superman, where like he becomes like a better person throughout this, like and I I don't know. It feels
Yeah.
more like a
No, you don't.
well-rounded
You don't have to
character.
be defensive with my take, because like I'm not a Superman guy. I really do like Superman for
Oh,
all
I'm just taking
seasons.
this as like a back and forth. Like you say something and I respond to it. That's just what I'm thinking.
Having read Superman for all season made me go back and rewatch Man of Steel with a whole new light. And I'm like, I kind of get it. It's still not great, but it's not. It's worth owning. I appreciate it. And
Have you guys? Oh, sorry.
Jor-El, I really love Jor-El, Russell Crowe, and
Yeah,
that just makes him as Zeus, having been Gladiator, and you cast him as a Greco-Roman, god in Marvel, and it's just like, hey, I'm a silly fat man. I spin my, what a letdown. Jor-El was awesome.
And what's worse is if they wanted like a Zeus like on like with the presence of Odin, Russell Crowe totally could have done that. Like if you wanted like a Zeus. Like with kind of like the presence, the acting of the gravitas of like Odin, Russell Crowe could have easily have done that kind of role. Like even if he just would have copied his Zod acting, whatever, it still would have like Russell Crowe is that good of an actor. He could have done it.
Well, did you guys ever read or see Injustice?
I've watched some of the video game cutscenes.
Oh yeah, the Gods Among Us video game, but so Injustice is that human Superman, and it's scary because he can rationalize lobotomizing Batman. Like he basically he gets brainwashed. He gets this gas or whatever that makes him think that his pregnant wife Lois is actually either on. I can't remember what it was, but he like convinces him to like basically kill Lois with his unborn kid. Like flies her out of the atmosphere and she suffocates in his arms. And when he comes to, he basically flips out and he's like, "Yeah, okay, Joker's got to die. Like he's done. Like we're done with this." And Batman's like, "You can't kill. We don't kill people." So he's like protecting Joker, and then eventually Superman finds him and then basically does the Indiana Jones Kalima and like punches right through Joker's chest. Rips out his heart and his spine and kills him, and Joker's like, "Hey, Bats, he could do what you never could," and then he dies, But Batman basically snaps at that point, and he's like, "You've gone rogue. Like you're no longer like we don't do that. Like bad guys kill. We're the good guys." And he's like, "How many people have died because of that stupid code of yours?" And you kept villains alive, and everybody that those villains have killed. Their blood is on your hands. So he's gone around and he's gone freaking like psycho. And he starts, and the funny thing is he wins over half the Justice League. Like Wonder Woman is like all on board. She's like, Cal's right. Like these pieces of shit need to go. So they end up forming.
Wonder Woman is always 2 steps from being a genocidal maniac anyway.
Oh, well, the Flashpoint paradox. Holy crap. She's like the sons, what is it? Atlantis will know the reign of the Amazons. The daughters of Atlantis will be slaves, and the sons will not live to see that day.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
It's very consistent for Wonder Woman.
Well, that's why I like the Paragon Superman, because it's unrealistic. It's not human, but it's that rock. It's that, okay, he's the good guy. It's kind of like how Captain America was before they turned him into a freaking like Hail Hydra crap.
Yeah, it's like what you see in the Justice League cartoon where it's like the linchpin for the Justice League become the Justice Lords was the death of Flash.
Yep. Yeah, and the whole but like if you saw in the Flashpoint paradox, like every superhero went nuts. Like they all have the capacity to be like really evil, like powerful.
You want to get nuts?
Thing.
Let's get nuts.
Yeah. Well, like Aquaman was like basically anything that's terrestrial needs to drown, and Wonder Woman basically said that anything with a penis needs to die. It's like, oh man.
Well, given the origin of the character and who wrote it, it's like, kind of makes me like, Wonder Woman.
Well, the funny thing about Wonder Woman is literally BDSM is baked into her character. Like the whole, literally the lasso, the tying up, the lasso of truth. Like,
I'm helpless when I'm tied up.
Yeah, like there is a
corset
lot of
suit.
BDSM elements into her character.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was created by a psychologist.
Yeah, no, I've watched that. I found it kind of cringy, that movie about the creator and his family and escapades and whatnot. I'm just like, I mean, I guess I appreciate you fighting the censorship, but I hate feminist propaganda, so I'm kind of just like,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman can have cool stories. I don't care. Just from her origins, she's propaganda versus like Superman
Dude,
is kind of just like
literally she
a
was created to
Superman,
do-
and then Batman is like a counter, and then Wonder Woman's like, never
No,
mind.
I caught hell for saying that Mario Brothers movie has feminist propaganda in it because they're all like, "No, we got to own Disney."
Well, to be fair, it was a lot fucking worse. And then
Yeah, I heard that they had to
Nintendo stepped
intervene.
in. First off, I liked the Mario Brothers movie, but like a lot of the arguments about like Girl Boss Peach, I don't necessarily agree with them, but I can certainly understand where everyone's coming, like their arguments are coming from.
Well,
And I'm not
want
saying they're
that.
unreasonable. Like I'm not saying they're unreasonable arguments. I just don't necessarily agree with them. So it's like
Right. Well, it's funny with that. Like, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but for like my side, general conservatism, views.
I'm pretty much
yeah.
a centrist, so just keep,
Yeah, like I said, like I'm kind of like a right-sided Bill Maher, as like I'm always kind of hesitant to agree with my side because there are a lot of NPCs on my side.
Oh dear God! Oh my God! But like being a centrist means both sides suck.
Yeah, it means both sides hate you.
Exactly. I get called an SJW cuck and a Nazi warmonger. Literally.
Today was a good day.
Yes, I got both sides mad at me.
Yeah. Well, like I'm not gonna see the Mario movie unless it's like for free somewhere, because I just don't give a fuck about Nintendo. But this, it seems like it was just a pretty good win for just good family entertainment, no real propaganda. And Rookie Critic, he saw it and he's like, yeah, I think people are really blowing this out of proportion. He's pretty, calm-minded as well. And I think people, because this is what they want everyone to get like so hyper vigilant that anything like in Mandalorian, they have that lesbian actress play the Imperial double agent, and it's like, and they're like, oh, it's woke because this lesbian's in the show and she presents kind of masculine. And it's like, she's the bad guy. So wouldn't you like the gay to play the bad guy?
Well,
because
exactly.
My problem is she's a terrible character that literally has no impact on the show. And, like, say what you will about Reva, but at least she was the central antagonist of the show. Literally, this character does absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing that impacts the main plot the whole season. Like, season 3 is basically a backdoor pilot for her show. Like, literally, season 3, like that whole vignette of that character has literally nothing to do with the main plot. Like, I'm sorry.
I disagree. I think those are my favorite episodes. My favorite episode was number 3, when it's all about like the doctor and him trying to rehabilitate, but then he's like, well, I want to do good, but they're forbidding it. Like this idea of like how people talk about Clone Wars with the prequels, and how it's like, oh, it makes the prequels better. It's like, no, all it does is expand on things, light shown on by the prequels, but they have actual more time to play with these ideas versus the main thread in the films. But for the sequels, everyone knows the sequels suck. And this started laying some groundwork for like the government of the New Republic that will lead into the Resistance and this bifurcation and actually give it some meat and weight. And I really liked that. It felt like, we're actually getting a good thought out story element here of like, yeah, the good guys aren't quite as good as they like to let on. They're so puritanical versus the Empire that lets like everything go for the agenda. The Republic's so restrictive that this is their folly, and I really like that. Versus most of the show is just like, oh, the Mines of Mandalore. That's going to be, what's the finale? And it's like, wait, what? You're done in 2 episodes? What the fuck was the show supposed to be about?
Those are fine. It's just the show is called The Mandalorian, not Coruscant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
funny.
The problem is, it's like episode 3 is like it's like Disney just changed the channel to an entirely
it's definitely a
show.
sidetrack.
Well,
I agree. Narratively, it's a sidetrack. But
well,
you're talking about a universe.
No, you're the point you just argued there. The show is called The Mandalorian, so why isn't he the main focus? That's why I disliked Super Mario Brothers. Because
fair point.
We wouldn't put up with that shit in Star Wars. We didn't put up with the Mary Sue garbage in Star Wars. Why are we putting it up with it in Mario? They literally backseated one of the Super Mario Brothers, the titular freaking character, man. Luigi is backseated, turned into a damsel in distress, so we could have every scene of Ain't She Great Princess Peach, who literally is never imperiled. Every scene she's in, she gets out of.
Let me counter this with me not really knowing much of anything about this, just to like be kind of a neutral, perspectives. Like, isn't the point of the Mario games to save Princess Peach all the time?
Yes, and they completely changed that.
So that sounds like, if this is like every game is, we gotta save Princess Peach, sounds like a big simp mod.
My argument is okay. So first off, everything you said is valid. Everything you said is true. I'm not disagreeing with anything you just said in video comic. Okay, my thing is this movie is a step in the right direction. Like, it is nowhere near as bad as some of the other crap we've been getting.
Oh,
like they act like she doesn't, like, the thing is, she doesn't diminish Mario. Like, Mario still gets his time to shine. But
she does.
Everything you're saying is correct.
Does he save her? Does he save her?
No, he does not save her. He does not save her. And on top of that,
is it a cliffhanger?
No, she saves herself, and he just shows up at the end to finish off the bad guy. But she does diminish him because they run through this obstacle course.
Oh,
like the video game.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm saying.
He can't even complete the obstacle course. He dies every time. It's like basically playing level 1-1. Dies every time, and she's like, she's really nice about it. She's like, yeah, nobody ever gets it on the first time. Keep going. And Mario goes, let me guess, you did it on your first time. Well, yeah, I did. And then it was like, she's like, but in my defense, I lived here. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. I live on Earth. That doesn't make me the master of the Ninja Warrior Challenge, And then on top of that, there's a scene where she's like, we got to go save, or we got to go fight Bowser or whatever. And all the Toads are like, yay. And Mario's like, all right, let's do this. No, we got to go get the Kong army or whatever to go defeat Bowser. Yeah, let's do this. And all the Toads are like, yay. And Mario goes, yeah, let's do this. And they're like, huh? Who is that? Oh, he doesn't matter. And then they just go. And it was like, you literally just freaking cock-blocked, like downplayed your own hero. Like,
wait, so in this world, in this world, is Mario, he's just a plumber, right?
Yeah, he's just some schmuck.
All right, so he's like, an unlikely hero that's kind of thrust into a thing and, escalates his abilities over time.
He doesn't have any new abilities. He never gets better.
Basically, the mushroom, like, basically the power-ups give you power. Even Princess Peach, she still needs the mushrooms.
So she's a mushroom addict.
I mean, basically,
you're letting your kids watch this drug-addicted cartoon.
I mean,
what are you teaching children?
To be fair, every Mario game is basically drug propaganda at this point. Like,
no, but you see what I mean? It's like I could spin this to moral outrage. So it's like, it's a stupid video game they made into a movie.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like there's anything egregious.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing is you can devalue that to anything though. You got a stupid space opera that you've made into a movie.
No. I'm saying like,
but
this versus like the Transformers, like, well, this person's non-binary.
Oh, that's so
pronouns
stupid.
Are they them? It's like that's propaganda. This just sounds, from what I've heard, just in passing, and with Ricky telling me just a little bit about it, it's like, sounds like a non-issue.
What it is it is propaganda. It was propaganda because they had this movie in development for like 5 or 7 years or something. And then Nintendo saw it at the 11th hour and went, what the hell is this? It is called Super Mario Brothers, and you have a Princess Peach outshine everyone. You upstage the Super Mario Brothers for this chick who's a side character. And yes, she was playable in Super Mario Brothers 2, which was the reskin of Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic. But that wasn't against Bowser. That was against King Ward or whatever. It wasn't even a legit, like, it's not even a canon game. And her first as a playable wasn't until I think the 3D or legit 3D, because she wasn't even called Peach until N64. She was called Princess Toadstool.
Yeah, I think let's see here. There are some Princess Peach sections in Paper Mario. You had Super Princess Peach on the DS. That was that was her first big game. And she's also playable in a lot of the sports titles.
And Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. But she's a side character. She's not they don't call it Super Mario Brothers and Princess Peach or Super Mushroom Kingdom, or you know what I mean? It's literally Mario and Luigi, and they didn't make that. They backseated Luigi so that they could force this, because that's where the propaganda lies. That's the Overton window that they keep moving, is that they're like, well, it wasn't that bad, and then the next movie gets worse, and then so on and so forth. And what it is they had an edict. It's like when Marvel made their cartoons, they literally told their creative team, you cannot depict a woman being punched by a male character. So any fight scene where you see a female cartoon Marvel character, like the Avengers or whatever, she'll either get thrown from something off screen or get sweeped or something, or a female character will punch her. But you'll never see the Thanos punch that everybody cheered when we saw Brie Larson get haymaker.
I was so happy, he punched her off the screen. Woo!
You will never see that. But that's what the Mario movie had, is they had you cannot have a woman in distress. You cannot have a damsel in distress that's female. Yeah. And that's why they made Luigi it. And it's like, dude, that's propaganda. You are forcing a morality onto the movie. You are defying the IP to push your own garbage. Yeah. And that's my only gripe. Without her, the scenes without her are freaking awesome. I hate Seth Rogen, but as Donkey Kong, the rival that he and Mario had about they're trying to fight for the approval of their dads who just, they think they're losers and stuff. That was a cool story. But as soon as she came in, it was isn't she great? She's perfect.
The thing about Seth Rogen is the writing literally carries his entire performance, because if you actually listen, he's not even trying with the voice.
I know, just
it's literally, if he wasn't written as well as he was, and he probably had the voice director was probably okay, you need inflection on here, here, and here. If it wasn't for you can tell he was barely trying with that one. He even said it in interviews, which honestly, I do not like Seth Rogen. Okay, I do.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't you know?
I like Seth Rogen
it's part of the LA experience.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Seth Rogen film wise until probably Neighbors. That's probably when he started getting.
I will say
that's around the time when he started getting woke, outright, and
I will say Green
became
Hornet.
A fucking just.
Green
shit. Green Hornet's a fun movie. I did
Kato movie.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I like it because they lean into that whole aspect. Because for the longest time, you're like, oh, Green Hornet, Kato did everything.
Yeah,
literally, they made that the movie, and I think it's better because of it. Because they leaned into that that fun aspect of the whole thing. And I think it actually made it so much better.
Yeah, it was a funny take on dude. Apparently there was a scene in a crossover episode back in the 1960s with Batman and Robin.
Yeah, where
the Green Hornet.
Oh yeah,
and it was Bruce Lee versus Robin.
Yeah, actually, Burt Ward,
shitting himself.
Report was I had a few karate classes before this, and Bruce Lee, he just a few karate classes versus literally the greatest martial artist of all time.
I invented my own martial art, and I can kick you 5 times before you can react.
Literally, I kick so fast they have to slow the camera down in order to just catch it.
Yep. Apparently, when they aired the Green Hornet in China, they renamed it the Kato Show.
I love it.
Man, I don't know. I just think that's absolutely hilarious. Where they had to have Robin and Kato fight as a draw, and apparently Burt Ward was hiding from Bruce Lee after that because Bruce Lee was fuming.
It's it's like you're about to enter the dragon, and by dragon I mean my fist in your face.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, what do you guys think about that scene from Once Upon
Yes,
a Time in
I
Hollywood?
I loved it. I loved it. Holy crap! As a big fan of Bruce Lee, I loved it.
Well, so I didn't, I don't really like Bruce Lee movies. Don't really care about martial arts films or anything. They're so redundant to me. But knowing his mystique, and then I listened to his Tarantino's interview on Rogan, and he's talking about this. And I was getting a lot of like info about. It's like, yeah, like, people just really suck off Bruce Lee. He kind of bitched out with the Ali fight attempt and stuff, and trying to change the rules and shit. He's like, I just want to knock him down a peg. And so that's like the whole point of that scene. It's like, that's fucking funny. And the fact that like Grace Randall was like, oh, it's racist.
How is that racist?
I mean, and you also got to think about it, like, whatever his name is, the
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. That he, like, if you look at it, Brad Pitt probably had at least 50 to 100 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that. Like, he was saying that like the character of Brad Pitt, he's trained to fucking, well, I want to say his backstory is like he's maybe been a killer or something.
Yeah, supposedly. So it's like his wife.
His whole like philosophy of training, how he's come up is like to like go full bore. Bruce Lee's like a stunt guy essentially. I mean, a damn good one, to be fair. Right, but it's all competitive. There's a limit to like how mentally how he's trained. So it's like
no. Right. Bruce had to kill people on this. Dude, he fought and killed people on the set when he was filming in Hong Kong because he was breaking the law and showing the white man ancient Chinese secrets.
Ah, so I didn't know that, but
yeah, snapped a guy's neck right on the set of Big Boss.
Can I just say, I just wish Brendan Lee would have survived because he would have been a huge star. I'm sorry. Like, Brendan Lee was already on the rise. Like, that film would have rocketed him to stardom. And, like, he'd already done a few films before that. Like, he had the martial arts chops. And, and, like, I think he would have been a huge star. And he would still be acting today. Holy crap, imagine if they had cast Brendan Lee as that role in Once Upon a Time in China.
So, the role is I make fun of my dad? No, you just act like a bitch and get your ass kicked by Brad Pitt. Okay, there's a paycheck in it. I'll do it.
The fact he threw him into the side of the fact he threw him into the side of like a 60s or 70s Lincoln,
bounced off the car.
Jesus Christ!
Well,
you're not talking about some like carbon fiber shelled like Honda.
No, that's like Detroit steel right there. That is like steel.
That's like that movie Shallow Hal when Gwyneth Paltrow breaks the chair in the restaurant. What do you make these chairs
out of? I want to rewatch Shallow Hal because I feel like it'd be great retroactive social commentary of like, look at this movie and look where we're at today. Lizzo is apparently beautiful now.
Like, if you want to talk about that, like, I wonder what it would be like to watch white chicks with like a modern context.
It's transphobic.
Yeah, they wouldn't even talk about the whole whiteface thing. That's not racist. No, that's.
Well, I don't think they'll even touch that film because they would have to criticize black guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so they just put it out of mind.
Yeah, in memory hole, it never existed.
Yeah, like that film, it kind of came out the perfect time where it's like you could actually have kind of like a nuanced discussion about those kind of dynamics. Like I miss the 2000s. I'm sorry, like that was like the last bastion of like common sense in that era.
Yeah, honestly, to me, pre 9/11 was the golden era.
Dude,
it's exactly what
I just made a tweet. I just made a tweet the other day about this kind of sentiment. Let me pull it up.
I mean, like, do you remember a film called Undercover Brother?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, even they were making fun of like not necessarily racism, but like the whole racism argument. Like, I feel like they were kind of just lampooning how silly the whole discussion on racism had become. Like that film is like, honestly, I'd say low key genius.
Yeah, Denise Richards as what was she, White Devilish or whatever?
White like oh, let's give on the black man's kryptonite. Oh, hot white woman. Like literally, like you could never get away with saying that. And like, Oh, Brokeback Mountain came out in that time period. Like,
Yeah, I said, I bet a lot of Bush era conservatives wish they could have better dealt with Brokeback Mountain. Masculine, bull riding, gun toting, blue collar gays. Maybe
Also-
the alphabet wouldn't be the nightmare it is today.
like I said this
The
on
GIF
Twitter
is
one
like,
time.
you have no idea how bad it gets.
Also, I said this on Twitter. If Brokeback Mountain came out the exact same time, but it starred Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Connelly, it literally would have made $1 billion.
Oh my god, I would have. Yeah, I would have. Actually, I probably would have waited for it to not be in theaters.
No, like
because then I'd get arrested like Paul
2005.
Rubin.
2005, Angelina Jolie. In 2005, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, dude, Jennifer Connelly is amazing.
She's still gorgeous. Like
Yes, she is.
If you see her Top Gun Maverick, like, goddamn woman.
I know.
I want a piece
Yeah,
of that.
women generally age like milk, and man, that wall is just a distance to
That wall, it saw Jennifer Connelly coming and be like, please pass through, Jennifer, please.
Yeah.
And literally, the wall, like all three walls, just like they parted ways for her. Be like, Jennifer, please pass through.
Man, yeah, I mean,
Oh.
God.
Like, have you seen Kelly McGillis? Like, goddamn. Like,
Oh man.
she, like,
And
it's not even the weight. It's just like she hit that wall like
yeah,
all
but
three
here's the
times,
thing
like
is
5,000 miles an hour.
yeah, and we can't like fault people. Like when you get old, you get old. You know, like that's just Mother Nature's way of saying you out of the gene pool. You know.
Yeah.
So apparently, this notification. So apparently, Miss Marvel, comic news, will die in a one-shot comic in July. It says
Why are
Fallen
they doing
Friend.
this? Like,
Did
literally.
you
Death
see-
of Miss Marvel.
Did you
Why?
see my
Yeah.
reply? My GIF? It was
No.
Jeremy something from Top Gear where he goes, "Oh no!" Anyway,
I might have seen it, yeah.
Here's my thing.
But I said,
her
"Stay
big
dead," and and so I got people saying, "Have you read a single Miss Marvel comic?"
why would I do?
Cancer. And then I got all these retards crying.
I
about
gotta
it.
step away
terrible
for a
character.
moment, boys. I'll be right back.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, dude, that's such a.
So
Terrible
it's funny.
character.
It's funny because this bitch Mason's like, have you read a single Miss Marvel comic? And then let me see. So I only watched the first episode of the show, but the comics I read are really good. Someone said like someone in here is like, I've never even read the comics, but people it seems to be beloved. And it's like, is it?
Nobody, no, dude. Like, who are these Marvel fans?
And then people are
outside
like,
of Twitter?
race motivated. He's probably racist. So it's like, well, yeah, I am racist, but
Well, my thing is I don't give a shit what her race is or what her what her sex or whatever. The problem is it's a shitty character, and
they
like,
keep changing her powers because they're afraid
Yeah.
of the Muslims
well,
that they made it for.
Well, that's all it is. Is like that's her character. Is I'm a Pakistani Muslim. That's the character. Everything else is interchangeable.
I think
That's why
I
their
read the
powers keep
first
changing.
issue by G. Willow Wilson, and it was like trying to whitewash the history of like India versus the Muslims and the formation of Pakistan. And it's like, I'm sure they probably kicked your ass out because you're goddamn terrorists.
Well, honestly, that's why they did it, because the British, or because India was
and
basically a
the
colony.
Indians.
Yeah, no, the Britain or the Britain Empire, British Empire, basically had India as a colony, and they're like getting all these freaking infightings and shit, and they're like, dude, we can't have a colony where the people are constantly fighting each other. And then they looked at all the different groups that were fighting. They looked over at the Sikhs, and they're like, well, the Sikhs are pretty peaceful. I don't know why they're doing, why they're fighting these people. They looked over at the Hindus, and they're like, well, okay, the Hindus are pretty peaceful. So like, I don't
Except
get why
when they
they're
get really
fighting.
happy.
No, then they looked over at they're like, what are the Sikhs, the Jainites or whatever,
Jainists.
whatever they're called, the
Sunnis
Jain.
and Kurds.
I think they
Yeah,
just call them Jains.
Yeah, what are the Jains? What are the Hindus? What are they all fighting? Oh, that's right, they're all fighting Muslims. Okay, we're gonna move them over to this section of India and put all the Muslims in there, and we'll call it Pakistan, and that's where they can stay. And then
And
they
it
got
was
into
named
fights with
that
each other
because that's where they packed them all up.
no, well, later on, after the
fuck
Muslims were
off.
fighting each other, they ended up they ended up splitting Pakistan again, and it became Bangladesh. Like. Meanwhile, over in India, they're not fighting. Like, you got the Sikhs, you got the Hindus, the Hare Krishnas. Like, these are all people that, I mean, granted, humanity is flawed, so you're always going to find conflict. But they're not like they're not blowing each other up constantly and fighting the way that
shitting on the street peacefully.
That's racist.
No, dude, I had a friend. He went there for work, and he's like, "Yeah, I had to take a big shit that we were on the train." And I asked where the bathroom was, and they brought me to the caboose. And I went into the bathroom, and all it was a dirty hole in the floor with 2 spray painted footprints on each side.
Yeah, that's like an Arabic Asiatic thing. It seems just make a hole.
Oh, so everybody on the train track just got some chicken tikka masala. Oh.
You're fertilizing the rails.
I'm ex-army, so it's like everyone's, at least when I was in, they still like would have race jokes with everybody's like minorities, and it's like everyone was cool because we're all green, It's like this hiding from stereotypes and jokes and being like, oh, we can't say this or that, and it's like this just makes everybody like resent each other versus we just like clown each other like, you slang-eyed fuck.
Because like when you're making fun of everybody, it's like everybody gets a turn, and it's like I think there's kind of an understanding of like, okay, you're not really there's not really any malice behind it. We're all just like making fun of the stereotypes, like, hey, you want to make a white person joke about mayonnaise and like all that shit?
Snow roach, male monkey.
It's like you want to make a joke about mayonnaise. I'm going to point out, like, it's like, hey, white boy, why are you putting mayonnaise on your sandwich? Dude, you're literally eating a watermelon right now. Shut the fuck up. Like that's how it should be done. Like just.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd say in the last almost 20 years now, we.
I figured y'all like this.
Is that Tumblr artists when like they're fixing an art?
Yeah, draw me like one of your French women.
In reality, they've never seen.
Dude, when I was a kid, I was like 7. I was like 7, and my mom's boyfriend, the only movies he had was like Throw Mama from the Train, Star Wars trilogy, and Titanic. And so at some point I found the booby scene and I rewound it, and then my mom woke up and caught me. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And
oh damn! You were oh man!
Was that your first experience?
You got
I don't know. Probably, maybe. Like I remember my first like crush was Lola Bunny from Space Jam.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got a funny story. So like I remember one time I sold a DVD for Gangs in New York. For my parents, and like no one was home, and like I watched it, and like I still remember this day I saw like the scene where like the woman with the bare breasts, and like I still remember my first reaction was, those are breasts. I was like actually kind of like disappointed. It's fucking A. Like literally I just remember saying, those are breasts. Oh my god, I'm embarrassing myself right now.
No, dude, I had terrible parents when I was a kid, and I went over to one of my friends' houses. I think I was like 5 years old, and I just remember we were in the living room, and his dad was watching Whitefire, which is like some 1980s or late 70s porn. And I'm looking at the TV, and I just remember my friend going, "Look at how big her kasabas are." I'm like, "Her what?" Her kasabas. He's making like the tit gestures with his hands. I'm like, "Those are her boobies? What's wrong with her?" It's like because they were all like botched boob jobs, with the scars and shit.
Oh dear, fucking hell.
So yeah, that's my earliest memory of being exposed to Plum.
So while we're on this topic, you guys are aware of the Super Hornio brothers, right?
Is that the one with what's his face there?
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy.
like I don't know if this is actually true, but apparently Nintendo bought the rights to both of the shows so that they could make sure it was never released again.
Wait, so does that make them canon now? They're a Nintendo-owned property. Well, did you ever see? Have you ever heard of the
Apparently,
YouTuber?
the tapes are like really rare and expensive. Like I remember actually watching like a Cinema Snob video, and like half the video was him bitching about how hard the tapes were to come by.
It was like the Star Wars holiday special. Like George Lucas bought up all he could and just trashed them. But there's a YouTuber called Meat Canyon who made this.
I've seen some of that guy's shit. He's funny,
dude. That he made one about Bugs Bunny, where Bugs Bunny is a gay rapist or rapist for Elmer Fudd, and he like you just see Elmer Fudd like I'm hunting rabbits, and he's like sneaking through the woods, and all of a sudden Bugs Bunny pops up behind him, and he's like, God damn, that man pussy smells good. We're gonna get a double wide surprise. And he just grabs Elmer Fudd, and like Elmer Fudd's like, help me! And like Bugs Bunny's dad comes, he's like, Bugs, don't do it. You're better than this. And like there's this huge hilarious thing, where like Bugs Bunny was like really disgusting. But apparently Warner Brothers sued Meat Canyon and to get that removed from YouTube and completely wiped off the face of the internet. So you might be able to find it, but it's really hard to find the original. Meat Canyon made a follow-up video where it was the funeral for Bugs Bunny, and they had all the different characters. They're all doing their thing. And then finally, one of the kids from Ed, Edd and Eddy's like, the weirdest, strangest part about this whole funeral is why Warner Brothers chose to make this canon. They chose to make Bugs Bunny a gay rapist. Because by suing this and making it a cease and desist, they are verifying that this is canon and that they own the rights to this.
Dear God, that guy has some balls. That guy has like big brass balls.
Speaking of rodents, student crucifies a rat on a wooden cross before burning it after catching the rodent eating his pet turtle.
All right.
How the hell does a rat eat a turtle?
All right. 1 second. I need to grab a friend of mine.
yeah. Nick's got a whole bunch pet rat. But how the hell does a rat eat a turtle? Like it must have been like a baby turtle or something, like one of those like little quarter-sized ones or something. Kind of makes their shell kind of pointless if they can't protect themselves.
Since we're talking about rats and I feel the need to defend them, everybody say hi to Courage.
Nice.
Yes, he's my
he's a big boy.
Yes, this is my
I'd
pet
make
rat.
a nice meal.
No. now he's under my shirt, so it's all good. But like
marsupial.
Like I'm sorry, but like I saw that before, and like,
I just saw it.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable because like I obviously am a rat person, and even if it was attacking the turtle, just like crucifying like that is honestly kind of cruel. It's kind of like it's like okay, if you hit it with a shovel to defend it or whatever and kill it, that's one thing. But to crucify it is honestly some serial killer shit. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
he
like
died
that
for his sins.
Well, it's like that new Zelda game. It definitely breeds.
Oh shit!
killers.
I was just thinking about the correlation there of
How
like
so?
the Nazi rats and Jesus is a Jew.
Oy vey. No, so in that Zelda game, they have this new fusion mechanic where you can fuse items with weapons to make like mega weapons.
Okay.
And there's these plants, and one of the you pick up like a flower, you pick up whatever. But if you fuse the flower, like a certain type of flower called like the muddle bloom or whatever, with your arrow, it turns the arrow into a madness gas. And when you hit a target, it drives the target completely nuts, and it goes and it kills all of its allies. So I'm walking through the world, and I'm all pissed off. I'm like, God damn, there's these enemy camps everywhere. So I see this one big thing called a moblin. It's like a big old dopey looking aardvark looking thing, sitting there eating, and it's surrounded by a bunch of bokoblins, which are like the little gremlin guys. And I'm like, you know what? That motherfucker's got to die. So I put the muddle bloom on my bow, aimed back, and shot him with the madness gas. So he stood up, freaked out, went wah, and just killed all of his own teammates. So the entire camp was cleared out except for him. And I'm like, no, I'm going to let you live so that you can bear this burden for the rest of your days. And I walked away and I went and did some shrine or whatever a couple of things later. And I came back and the whole camp is empty except for him sitting on a log crying.
Wow. Whoa.
It's like, holy shit. So yeah, you could do some. Oh yeah, and there's ones where you have to like move those little rock things. Those little. You found me. Well, you put
no, it's even better. It's like, here, you found me. Take my shit.
Yeah. You literally get a piece of golden turd, but you use like the one of the other things, the ultra hand mechanic, where you can like super glue things to items, and they have these new things where you have to like pick up a guy who's got a giant backpack that can't move, and he's like, you gotta bring me over to my friend because I'm too tired. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just use my power hand. So I like found like a little, like I'm on top of this mountain and this little bastard's telling me I gotta go like all the way down to the bottom of this mountain to freaking walk with this thing. And I'm like, no, I see like a little cart with wheels. Oh, okay. I'm gonna glue him to the cart, put the wheels on it, and just send him down the hill on it. Well, yeah, I murdered that little shit because like his last words were "ooh, scary" as like the cart went careening down the mountain and then veered off some unexpected turn, and instead of going towards its destination, went off of like into some chasm and died. So yeah, that game's a serial killer simulator.
And then right as he fell off, he's like, "What? You never played Tony Hawk?"
Yeah. Frontside 360 with Japan Air.
Yeah, like I actually saw like you actually can create like your own skateboards in the game where it's like the thing with wheels and you like fuse a shield to it. All of a sudden you have a skateboard.
Yep. Yeah, well, did you see the one with the exploding dick? Somebody made a giant
Oh
man.
yeah, I saw that. That is insane.
Well, that in game development, whenever we have a term called "in before the penis."
Oh boy!
If you give creation tools, there is a less than 100% chance someone will use it to create a penis.
Yeah, well, no, that like when every game I've ever worked on, whenever we would have design meetings, there would be up on the whiteboard in before the swastika and in before the penis, and I was like, what the hell is that all about? And it's like, well, if we're doing content that can be created by the players, we have to figure out ways of making it so that they can't do these two things. And it's like every game where the player can create their own content, like make your own decal for your Mario Kart, like in Mario Kart DS, you could draw like somebody made like the Hitler Kubelwagen or whatever.
The Schwimmwagen?
Yeah.
The Schwimmwagen! No, wait, you mean the Volkswagen?
Yeah.
They
Well,
had like a amphibious version for the military.
But yeah, so somebody made one of those, and then it was like the Flash Gits guys made that joke with racist Mario playing Mario Kart, where he's like, why are they letting non-Nintendo characters into Mario Kart? You're race traders. You're not Nintendo, you're Pretendo. And he like goes on a killing spree and kills them all.
Have you seen Mad Mario?
Oh God, no.
Madman,
Oh,
like Don
okay.
Draper?
No, it's no. But like, okay, you want to know like my favorite like Mario like cartoon flash short? Have you ever seen Son of a Peach?
No, I've never seen that one.
I'd ask you to pull it up, but you'd probably get copyright struck. So.
Aw.
But like, all right, let me just look. It's one of those things where like the more you watch it, the worse it gets. It's just like, and it is filthy. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. Like, I'm gonna link it. If you want to play it, that is your choice. But I warned you. But like, yeah, this is an old Newgrounds short. So just.
God, I miss Newgrounds.
It's still around. Like honestly, I think it's actually thriving.
While you're pulling that up, I'll show you this funny comic I saw today. This is Cream of Dog. They're pretty funny. And it's about Legend of Zelda, I guess, being trans. It says, like, I must have sex with the hero twink. And it says, just innocent men. And then there's Big Homo behind evil Nintendo game developers. And then Cream of Dog saying, queers of the kingdom.
See, this is kind of the problem I have with some trans activists. Like, if you're trans, I don't fucking care. You know, whatever. That's your life, whatever. But like, there are certain segments of that community where it's like, they try to make everything trans, everything queer, and it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Remember when queer was an insult?
Mm-hmm.
Still is.
Yeah, like
all right, private chat.
Nice. All right, I got that.
It's funny. It's funny because this guy has, I think, a trans girlfriend. There's like a video film where he's like poking his trans girlfriend. He's like trans rights, like trans rights are animal rights, trans rights are animal rights.
Oh God,
so they're pretty funny. They're not annoying activists.
Well, that's the thing is most people aren't. And unfortunately, when you look at social media or you look at the way the corporate media has put the slant to it, you'd think that we live in this like madhouse of the extremes when most people you meet are pretty middle of the road.
Yeah, like know? even on Twitter, it's like I actually have quite a few like trans friends on Twitter, and they're honestly good people. Like seriously.
Yeah, but like being trans isn't a qualifier for being good or bad. You're just a thing.
Tell that to the trans activists. Like they think,
Yeah, you're like Jesus, basically.
Yeah, well, they certainly think they're persecuted like him anyway.
Oh God, yeah, and it's a different aspect of like if that's your only value that you bring to the table, then that's why I guess that's why they would get so offended that people don't give a shit about it or disparage it. Because that's where they place all of their value.
It's like all these characters where it's like their sole defining characteristic is, oh, I'm gay, I'm the lesbian, I'm trans,
I'm a Muslim Pakistani.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's why they get so butthurt. Is it's like if that's the only thing you got to fall back on, and people are devaluing that, your demand for external validation must be killing you on the inside.
When literally all you have to do is create a good character here who just happens to also be X. Like even though Miles Morales has come a long way. The movie did a lot for his character, but even still, Miles Morales is still not ready for prime time yet, or at least not ready for mainstream.
The thing I hate about Miles Morales is they basically I could hear the boardroom discussion where they're like, okay, we're losing the rights. We don't want to pay the royalties for Spider-Man Peter Parker, so we got to make another Peter Parker. We got to make another Spider-Man. Well, we did the whole Ben Riley thing. Yeah, and that thing sucks. So we got to do we got to make a black Spider-Man. We could black it up because diversity. That's going to win it. Okay, but he can't just be Spider-Man. He's got to be better. Let's give him lightning powers and shit.
Let's make him go invisible because all black kids like to be invisible.
Yeah. If you would have just made another Spider-esque character or a character that could do similar things to Spider-Man and just called him some other name Black Recluse or
the
Fiddleback
power of the race card.
Yeah, that's all it is.
No, that's his name. Is race card. That's literally his name.
No, I would love that honestly if he's fighting Green Goblin and he's like, "You underestimated my powers, Spider-Man," and he's like, "You underestimated mine. I choose the race card."
Oh no!
If you beat me, you're racist.
Wait.
I gotta say, it's a tangent. Some of my favorite Spider-Man stories are when Peter actually goes all out. The one time where he broke into prison and literally beat the Kingpin into his life.
Yeah,
because he was just so
I'm holding back. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of villains don't realize just how much Peter holds back.
Yeah. It's funny. I haven't really loved Spider-Man, but Comics Explain was talking offhand about Spider-Man one time, and he's saying it's He's like, yeah, Spider-Man's like always holding back. He's like, if I was Spider-Man, I would knock Doc Ock's head off and then go home and have
Yeah.
like pizza or something.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as radioactive spiders, so I can't. So anyway,
Like literally, if Spider-Man wanted to, like, a semi-experienced Spider-Man could literally beat Captain America every time if Peter really wanted to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think what Namor is the only. There's like maybe like 5 or 6 characters that are stronger than Spider-Man in that Marvel Encyclopedia.
I mean,
book.
it's also like Peter's power set is literally just so good against most of the Marvel canon. Like it's just like his agility, his webbing, just his whole power set. It's just
Spider Sense.
Yeah, like going against Iron Man, there's so much stuff he could do.
Yep.
Like there's so many things, like going up against a Thing. Like the Thing might be stronger and more durable than Spider-Man, but like the agility and the fact that Spider-Man is almost as strong kind of gives him an edge.
Yeah. Well, Ancient One had mentioned in the chat there that Spider-Man is already overdue to enter public domain since January of 2019.
Oh, that's actually a good topic because like there's actually a bunch of like Mickey Mouse is supposed to enter public domain next year.
Oh boy!
To be fair, Steamboat Willie is supposed to enter public domain next year.
Oh shit!
So that card, like, yeah. So we're gonna see some interesting stuff. Like some people,
I can't wait till they make like the Winnie the Pooh movie coming out.
Oh,
Which I might support just because, like, stick it to Disney. I hope the Winnie the Pooh Blood Honey whatever is like a huge fucking hit.
Dude, I hope it speaks Mandarin. I will laugh my ass off.
The thing is, there are certain properties that should be canon, but some corporations are squatting on them. Like Zorro should be canon. Like his stories are already public domain, but the characters themselves, it's basically the only reason why Zorro is not public domain is because nobody's really taken the people to court and had the decision. But like if they did, it probably would happen. I think John Carter is in a similar situation where John Carter Mars, the books have been public domain for like at least 20 years, but like the character himself, because like I know that Sherlock Holmes was actually in like the 80s and the 90s. He was actually had kind of a similar situation, like because I remember like Star Trek Next Generation, the first time they did a Sherlock Holmes episode, they actually had to get permission from the estate, but the second time they did a Sherlock Holmes episode, by that time it had entered public domain, so they're free and clear.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think the whole copyright system is really fucked up, and like there needs to be a bigger overhaul.
So I'm following the link that Ancient One just put in there. Oops.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, Conan, Superman, James Bond, freaking Batman.
Yeah, the problem you have with this is like that's why there's like 50,000 different variations of these characters. Like for example, you could use Mickey, but like you put him in gloves. We can copyright strike you.
Whoa.
It's why it's like with Pooh. Like if you put him in the red shirt, then you are in violation of Disney copyright because Disney still owns that version of Pooh because the original version of Pooh did not have the red T-shirt. So like anytime, like I know there's this one comic creator, he gave him like a red scarf or something. If Disney wanted to, they could sue him into oblivion.
Oh shit! Well, I know Von Klaus grabbed Black Terror, and he's releasing that soon. Or I know his campaign. I think it's still going, but that's an old school. Like that's like the Phantom and the Shadow and like those really really old pulp.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch of like golden age characters that are just like free to use. Like
nice.
There's like a website like copyright free characters where like so many of like the characters from the 30s and 40s are just because like they were made by like fly by night companies that never got bought out. And so
if I were Von, I would actually put in the title of my book Von Klaus's Black Terror. And that way he'd have his protected. So if anybody ever tries to do another Black Terror and they use like the gas and all that stuff that his, like the version that Vaughn is doing, he could basically sue them into oblivion.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for me, I'm planning on doing a Robin Hood book at some point. Like
nice.
I'm gonna do like Robin Hood and like modern day Detroit and whatnot. It's gonna be pretty good.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see it. Appreciate you having on. It was a fun discussion, man. Wish
yeah.
good success for 2100 Samurai issue 3 and more. But gotta wrap this up. So any last words for the stream, Nick?
Support towards Samurai and Indiegogo.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Go check him out. I just realized that he's got a YouTube channel as well. I saw earlier. So find him at the Phoenix Press on YouTube to stay up to date, and follow him on Twitter at the Phoenix Press, and back the book. Till next time, me and Ricky will see you Thursday, and talk to you later.
Have a good one.